in Cote d'Ivoire. So they had to create other departments. So suddenly, what my former boss said is unattainable for a Nigerian.
All right. Hi, everybody. Good evening. Uh, Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the session. Hope we are doing great. I see quite a number of us on the call. I'm so excited. I'm happy to be meeting with everyone and also to be driving this session with you guys. How was your day? Can you let me know if you can hear me? Can just react, use any of your favorite reactions. So I'm sure that you can hear me. Amazing. Thank you very much, guys. Awesome. So in just one word, all right, before we get into all of the technicalities, let's just ease up a bit. Do you want to tell me in just one word, or let's say one phrase, or max one sentence, how your day went? All right. So tell me in the chat, how did your day go? So let me start. I think my day was, yeah, I think my day was stressful. So what about you? How was your day? Before we get into all of the discussions, let's just ease up a bit. So sorry about that, Douglas. Douglas's day was hectic. Let me guess, Douglas, you live in Lagos, right? I'm sure, I'm guessing Douglas lives in Lagos. All right. Somebody slept all through. Wow, I want to be like you when I grow up. Awesome. Good to know. All right. All right. It's good to meet everyone. So welcome to this session. If you're joining, uh, okay, awesome. Good to know. If you're joining Nebiant Analytics for the first time, you're joining our session for the first time, I'd like to welcome you to Nebiant Analytics. We are not just like any other educational technology institution. We are focused on empowering more than teaching you a skill. All right. We empower you with more. We empower our students with more than just the technical skills. And our mission is to ensure that we help Africans unlock the vast talent that we have. All right. And we've been doing that for about 2 years. And in just that amount of time, we've been able to help hundreds of Africans make the switch into tech, especially those that are interested in data career. All right. My name is Ayobabi. In case you're also listening or hearing me for the first time, I lead training operations here at Nebiant Analytics, and I'm also a data analyst and a Power BI developer. I've been doing this for close to half a decade now. And tonight I'll be sharing some of the insights that can also help you, become um, all right, to also help you break into tech. All right, I'm sure that's what we are here for. And I'm going to be sharing everything that you need to know to be able to position yourself for a career in tech. All right, guys, if you're excited, if you're ready to go, just give me your reaction. Let me see your reaction if you're excited. If we are ready to go. Awesome. All right, so I'm going to start by sharing my screen. Just give me 1 second. All right. I would not waste your time. I won't waste your time tonight. Hopefully, we're able to wrap this up in the next 1 hour. We're able to wrap this up in next 1 hour. All right. So my screen is coming up. I'm not sure if you can see my screen. Please let me know if you can see my screen. All right, great. So, welcome to this session tonight. I've already introduced Nebiant Analytics. So, tonight we would be doing three major things. We'll start by looking at how other Africans have been able to break into tech. We will learn from them. We'll then see how you can do the same by following in their footstep. All right. And once we know all of that, I then have a special announcement for you guys. at the end of the session, and then we get to ask and answer some questions. All right. And I also want to let you know that we are recording these sessions and we want to make the recording available to you. So if you would like to go over the session after the session, just fill out the attendance form that is being shared in the chat box, fill it out, and we'll be sending you the recording of the session. Guys, give me a thumbs up if we got that. Give me a thumbs up if we got that. Awesome. Thank you very much. All right. So very quickly, let's talk about some Africans that have been able to make the switch into tech. What did these people do? What helped them make that switch into tech? And what can we learn from their experience that we can also apply to our journey of breaking into tech? So the first person I'm going to talk about is Esther. All right. Esther at the time finished from the School of Nursing. And luckily for her, she was able to land a job as a did I say monitoring? She was able to land a job after school as an on-field health practitioner. Somebody said they can't see my screen. Guys, if you can see my screen, please give me a thumbs up. If you can see my screen, please give me a thumbs up. All right. So I would suggest that you leave the call and rejoin immediately. All right. If you can't see my screen. So let's learn from Esther. So Esther was working after school as an on-field health practitioner. The long and short of that is that wasn't rewarding. It wasn't fulfilling. And Esther wanted more. And she had been hearing about tech for a long time, but she didn't do anything about it until it got so overwhelming. Her job at the time, wasn't rewarding financially, nothing to write home about. And she was tired, she was fed up, and she wanted more. Now, a lot of us are currently at this position where we want more. We know that what we are doing right now cannot cut it. If we keep doing this, we are definitely not going to be able to achieve most of the dreams and aspirations that we have. All right. We are at that point where we are no longer satisfied with where we are at and we want more. And that was where Esther was at the time. But what did Esther do? Instead of just sitting down and wailing about her situation, Esther decided to be more. All right. It's not enough to say you want more. You have to be more. All right. And for you to be more, you have to do more. What am I saying? It sounds like a rhyme. Trust me, I'm not a rapper. I'm just trying to tell you that the journey between where you are right now and where you want to be lies in the efforts that you put in right now. It's not going to happen by magic. You would have to empower yourself. And that was what Esther did. She decided to learn data analytics and she signed up for our data analytics program in February this year. And in our program, she was able to learn not just the technical skills, but some of the other things that you need to be able to empower yourself and position yourself for the job. I'm talking about things like LinkedIn optimization, building a compelling personal brand, building a very compelling project portfolio. All of those things you'll get to find out as we progress in the session. All right. Esther did that, and 3 months later, all right, 3 months later, in May 2025, Esther successfully landed her first job. From being an on-field health practitioner, getting frustrated to landing your first job 3 months after she decided to empower herself. All right. You see why I'm sharing Esther's story. But before I move away from these people, let me tell you about one more person. This young man right on my screen. His name is Oluwaseun. Just like Esther, he was also working in a field that is not rewarding. He was working as a risk officer at a microfinance bank. That was what Oluwaseun was doing at the time. And like Esther, also, he wanted more. And that led him to deciding to empower himself. And how did he, go about that? He decided to learn a skill. All right, he decided to learn a skill and he enrolled in our business analysis course in August 2024. I want you guys to stay with me. I'm heading somewhere with these stories that I'm sharing with you. And I promise you, this is probably the last one I'll be sharing with you before we proceed with other things. But there's a reason why I'm highlighting these people's story, and we will see why shortly. So, Oluwaseun, all right, Oluwaseun, enrolled in our business analysis course in August last year, not this year. And one of the things that stood out in Oluwaseun's story was how instantaneous Oluwaseun's transformation was. How do I mean? In a matter of week, Oluwaseun was able to was able to bag a LinkedIn top voice badge. All right. Now, a lot of us might not know what a LinkedIn top voice badge is, but for those of you that know, you are aware of the kind of prestige that comes with that and the kind of authority that also comes with that. That was what Oluwaseun was able to achieve in a matter of weeks. And he used that to land several contract gigs. All right. And he did that until this year, March 2025, he got a full-time job as a business analyst. Now, I am going through all of these people not to bore you, but to tell you that people are still landing jobs. Somebody that started months back are still landing job, because a lot of us like to think that the tech space is saturated. The truth of the matter is the tech space is not saturated. If anything, the demand for tech professionals is on the rise, especially those within the data career. All right, because there's a report published early in the year that stipulates that the demand for data analysts and other data professionals is consistently rising by 30 to 35%, and that will continue to happen up until 2030. So what am I saying? There are jobs. That's just the long and short of everything that I've been saying so far. The tech space is not saturated, but for you to be able to take advantage of the opportunities that lie in the tech space, you need to stand out. A lot of us fail to realize that the same way you want to get into tech is the same way 10 million other people in the world want to get into tech. So what are you doing differently to be able to stand out and serve as an edge? All right. Now, how do you stand out? You must be able to show quality work. You must be able to have proof of quality work. It's not enough to say, I have a skill. You have a skill, but guess what? So does 10 billion, not 10 billion. So does at least 4 billion other people in the world. Or let's even make it, let me not exaggerate. Yes, you have a skill, but so does 100 million other people. All right. So you are not the only one who is upskilling, who is looking for a better story. So for you to be able to stand out of that pool, you must be able to deliver and prove quality work. So if you have been trying to upskill by just focusing only on learning the technical skills, you are not doing anything differently. That is what every other person is doing. So you need to augment it with other things. And the truth of the matter is, the best time to do that is now, because you now have the opportunity to land jobs globally, especially now that recruiters abroad are looking for African talent. And whether we like it or not, all right, whether we like it or not, the reality right now is that global companies are looking to African talents for cheap labor. It does not sound nice, all right, but that is just the truth, all right. Global companies are looking to African talents for cheap labor. But guess what? What they call cheap labor to them, to us, is still amazing pay, because this is how it happens. Companies abroad, they know that for them to hire their own people, for instance, to hire a data analyst in the US, it will cost you about $5,000 to $6,000 every month. But these companies don't want to pay that kind of amount, and they know that they can hire Africans who would deliver at the same level of quality, but for a cheaper pay. So instead of paying a typical American $5,000, they would rather look for a Nigerian and pay that person $2,000 to $2,500. But let me ask you a question. Even though it is cheap labor, we agree. But if you're making $2,000 to $2,500, would you say that your financial status has elevated or not? Let's do the math. $2,500 every month. Would that be improvement in your financial status or not? Let me hear what you think. Tell me in the chat. You're making $2,500 now. Would that be an improvement in your current situation or not? If you're saying it is not, that means that currently you are earning above $2,500. And if you're earning above $2,500, then maybe you don't even need to be on this call. All right. Maybe you don't need to be on this call, but even guess what? You can even earn way more than that. All right. You can earn way more than that, because there are specific companies that you can position yourself in, and you'll be making, say, around 4,000 to $4,500, even though it is still cheap labor. So you want to position yourself right now. Yesterday is too late. Today is late. All right. Today is late already, but you are still right on time. So because of this demand for local talents, for African talents, I mean, you want to position yourself by empowering yourself. And for you to fact check me, all right, for you to ascertain whether or not what I said about jobs being available is true, I want you to do this at your own pace, maybe when you're free. Go on LinkedIn, all right? Go on LinkedIn and go and search for data analyst openings. You will find out, last time I checked, right now, within the EMEA region alone, there are about 14,000 current openings in data analytics alone, just within the EMEA regions. And these are the regions that are accessible to Africans. So we have this kind of opportunities. Why then don't you have a tech job if the jobs are literally there? I mean, there's nobody on this call right now that can apply to 14,000 jobs in a day. I guarantee you. So that means there are more opportunities than you can even take up. But a lot of us still don't have a tech job. The question is now why? Why? Why is it that despite the fact that there's an abundance of opportunities, some people are still not able to get one out of 14,000? The reason is not far-fetched, all right? The reason why, despite the abundance of opportunities, you are unable to secure one of them is because you lack five things. All right. And I want to empower you with these five things. I want to reveal these five things for up to you so that you can start positioning yourself. All right. So that you can start positioning yourself. And once you get these five things, you are well on your way to landing your first tech job. So, what are these five things that you lack? Follow me closely. The first thing that you lack, if you're looking for a job in tech, especially in data, is the fact that you lack data skills. Now, let me rephrase that. You lack the skills and knowledge to be able to analyze data and visualize data. And especially, you lack the knowledge of tools that companies require for you to be able to analyze and visualize data. So, if you want to get a job in data, but you don't even know how to use the tools that companies use to analyze their data, how then are you going to land a job in tech? All right. So, if you're able to learn the tools and the techniques and the technologies used to analyze and visualize data, you are closer to landing your first job than right now. And some of the most in-demand tools right now in the market are Power BI and Looker Studio. Learn these two tools. Learn these two tools, and you're well on your way to landing your first job. The second thing you lack, a lot of people lack this, is a proof of work. These days, recruiters no longer bank on word of mouth. If you like, make boast of your competencies. If you don't have proof to back it up, you are not getting hired. And the only way you can demonstrate your skill is through a project portfolio. So if you don't have a project portfolio, there's no way you would incite the confidence of the recruiter that wants to recruit you. All right. So after you have learned the skills, you need to have a project portfolio that demonstrates those skills. All right. The third thing that you lack is a personal brand that is compelling. Now, in 2025, in fact, since 2020, say 22, 23, people have been landing jobs they didn't apply to. All right. I'm sure maybe some of you have that experience right here. You've landed a job that you didn't apply to. Maybe somebody reached out to you on LinkedIn. Give me a thumbs up if you're on this call, you were able to land a job that you didn't directly apply to. It was somebody that reached out to you exactly. So you can begin to see the fact that now we no longer live in the day and age where you have to be the one running after jobs. Jobs are literally running after people, but the only way that can happen is if you have a personal brand online that is compelling. When a recruiter scrolls through LinkedIn, for instance, if they come across your profile, will they pause, take a look at your profile, get impressed enough to be able to shoot you a DM and ask for, your CV, or ask you to have a conversation about an opportunity? If the answer is no, then you are not maximizing the opportunities that are bound in the world. So you need a personal brand that is compelling and also visible. That is the third thing that you lack. Then number four, we live in the world of AI. If you want to land a job in tech and you don't have pro level AI prompt engineering skills, your chances of landing a job is limited. All right. Now, when I say this, in fact, I've had a lot of conversations with people, and 90% of the people in the world right now think they have AI prompt engineering skills. They think all I need to do is tell ChatGPT, I ChatGPT, do this, blah, blah, blah. And they get a result. They feel, oh, I've been able to use ChatGPT. But AI prompt engineering is literally a skill that you learn the same way you learn tools like Python. The same way you learn how to code, there's a way you can learn how to prompt engineer an AI tool to get the maximum result. And people with this kind of skills are considered highly valuable to organizations, because what that means is they can hire only you and you can do the work of two people. And that is what organizations are honestly looking for right now. So you need to master pro level AI prompt engineering skills. And the last one is your CV. How is your CV helping you in your tech job search journey? If it is not helping you, then you need to start looking into AI powered CVs that matches job descriptions, not just using it to send applications randomly. A lot of us do that. You have a CV, regardless of the job you want to apply to, you are using that same CV. If you're applying to a data analyst role that requires Excel and Power BI, you use that same CV. You want to apply to another job that requires Tableau, Looker Studio, you will use the same CV. You have another job that requires ML skills, that requires API call skills, that requires, you will still use the same CV, and then you are wondering, why don't I get caught? Because you have not mastered the arts and the acts, ART and ACT. There's an art to it and there's an act of drafting a CV that scores well when it goes through the ATS. I'm sure if I ask all of us, do we know what an ATS is? Not everybody can tell me yes. If you don't know what an ATS is, give me a thumbs up. Don't be shy. Don't worry. We listen. We don't judge. All right. Great. So a lot of us don't even know that there's something called ATS that our CV go through first before it gets to the recruiter. ATS simply means applicant tracking system. And what does it do? Whenever you send your CV, recruiters will feed that robot. It's a robot. They will feed your CV to that robot. The robot will scan. It is not a physical robot, not the one you see in movies. It's like a software. All right. So don't start picturing, a Tesla robot. No, don't worry. It's not a actual physical robot. It's just a software. All right. It's a bot that they pass your CV to. They give your CV. It will scan your CV and also scan the job requirements, the job description. It looks for how well your CV matches the job description. And depending on how well your CV matches the job description, it will give your CV a score from 0 to 100. Now, depending on your score, your CV can then move from the bot to the table of the HR. But if your score is very low, the ATS system will filter out your CV, meaning it will trash it. The recruiters will not even get to see your CV because it has scanned through your CV and it gives it a very low score because it didn't match the job description very well. So if you want to ensure that you are maximizing every opportunity you're applying to, your CV must score at least 80 to 95% when it gets passed through the ATS. But there's a way you can position yourself. There's a way you can learn how to leverage AI to craft an AI powered CV that consistently scores you at least 85 to 95%. That is how you maximize opportunities. So these 5 things, if you master them, if you have them, you are well on your way to landing your first job. Are we together? Am I making sense, guys? Am I making sense? I need to be sure that we are still together. Am I making sense? Awesome. All right. Now, these are the 5 things that you lack right now. All right. These are the 5 things that you lack, but let's fix it. All right. I'm sure you don't just want to hear the problem, you also want to hear the solution. Am I correct? Please type yes in the chat if I am speaking your mind. You don't just want to hear Ayobami talking about the problem, the problem. Yes, we know, blah, blah, blah. We lack this. So what is now the solution? All right. Now, let me tell you, you see Esther, all those people have been sharing their story. Oluwaseun, all of these guys that have been able to land a job. I don't want to feel bad. Guess what? When they also started, they also lacked all these 5 things. So you are not alone. I want you to know that first of all, you are not alone. You are not the worst person in the world. We all had to go through that phase. And just like you are on this session now, We gave those people this solution I'm about to give you. They took the solution and now they have the results to show for it. So, what is the solution? What you need is a program that will give you all these five things. All these things that I said you lack. You need a well packaged, comprehensive training program that gives you all these five things. Do you agree with me or not? If you have a program that gives you all these five things, you are well on your way to landing your first job. Guys, do you agree with me or not? Give me a thumbs up if you agree with me. All right. Give me a thumbs up if you agree with me. So let's see this program. What program do I want to talk about that gives you all these five things that you lack? It is called the Tech Elevator Program. And we've been running this program for years, and we've been consistently delivering value and results to every participant that takes this program. It's a 4 weeks intensive training program that gives you everything that I mentioned that you lack. All right. We're going to start with the technical skills. First of all, you need to have the technical skills. All right. That is where we are going to start with. From week one, we are starting to equip you with data analysis and visualization skills. So from week one, you'll be able to analyze and visualize data using Looker Studio. And by the time you are done with week one, you would have been able to build this pro level Looker Studio report. All right. Look at this report you can see on my screen. This is what you will come out with after week one. We're not going to say, oh, because you are a beginner, would only help, would only make you create beginner level reports. No, we will equip you enough to be able to build pro level report even from week one. All right. So in case you're wondering what the report looks like in real time, let me show you very quickly. Let me show you very quickly. All right. Now, guys, can you see my screen? Can you see the report in real time? So this is the report in real time. It's very dynamic. I can filter this report and say, oh, only show me office supplies. And the report will filter and you see how dynamic it is. It has changed. Or I can say region. I don't want to see west. I don't want to see south. I only want to see the central. All right. And then you see it has changed. And you can see even the map changed. So this is what pro level data analysts and data visualization developers are building. And this is what you, a beginner, will build in 1 week. All right. In 1 week, guys. So let me continue. I think I need to go back here. All right. Great. So this is what you achieve in week one. Guys, how does that sound? All right. Give me your reaction. If you're happy, let me know. If you're not, let me also know. Great. So you're excited. This is what you achieve in week one. In week two, we will take it further. All right. In week two, we're going to take it further. Now, we have introduced you to data analysis and data visualization. So we assume that you can no longer call yourself a beginner. All right. At this point, then we'll then take it a notch further by empowering you with expert data visualization skills using Power BI. You're going to apply a lot of advanced functionalities in Power BI such that you can tell any recruiter that you are a pro level data analyst. All right. And you are going to be able to build this dashboard on my screen. Guys, can you see this Power BI dashboard on my screen? Great. So in case you're wondering, maybe I went to download this from the internet. Let me show you the dashboard in real time. So this is Microsoft Power BI. I hope you can see Microsoft Power BI. And this is Mover Logistics. All right. You're analyzing their shipments, their cost, all of this. Now, It's good. You have all of these, but then what are the advanced features? Number one, you have a report that looks like an app. You can click around. It looks like an app. It's just not a normal report. All right. For instance, if you want to filter this report, the filter pane is currently hidden. All right. That is an advanced feature. You only bring it out when you need it. For instance, now I want to filter this report. I can activate the filter panel by clicking on this button. If I click on this button, it will activate the filter pane. Can you see the filter pane activated now? Guys, can you see the filter panes activated? Is it visible? Great. Now I can use the filter panes to now filter this report. For instance, say I want to see data for 2021. If I click on 2021, watch what is going to happen. The report is going to change. Now you can see the values have changed to reflect 2021. And the alternate text here is saying you are currently viewing data for what? 2021. If I change this, I click 2022, look at that. The alternate text here will change to what? You are currently viewing data for 2022. So you can see how dynamic it is. Once I'm done, I can click this X button to close it. And now I've closed it, I can now view my filtered report. So let's say I'm done with viewing my filtered reports. I want to clear all filters. I can click on this button again and click on this button. It clears the report, it clears the filters, and the report goes back to normal. All right, that's one advanced feature. Now, look at this trend line. Guys, can you see this trend line? Shipment, performance, trend. Can you see the trend line? Can you see shipment, performance, trend? Is my screen still visible, guys? Great. So it's showing shipments performance trend only because we have selected shipment. That's the reason why we are only seeing shipment. If I want to see cost in the same view without leaving this view, I can see another metric. If I click on cost, guess what will happen? The view will change to analyzing cost, performance, strength, and even the title will change. Let me click on revenue. If I click on revenue, the title will change and then the trend will also change. So guys, these are advanced features that you will build. We're not going to wait for you to be able to achieve this in 10 months. In your second week, this is what you are going to achieve. All right. The program has been planned already. Everything has been set. And this is what you're going to achieve in your first 2 weeks. So let me then ask you now, from week 1 and week 2, do you agree with me that by the end of week 1 and week 2, you would now have pro level data analysis and data visualization skills? Is it starting to look like that already? Amazing. All right. Amazing. But guess what? If you stop at that, now I'm going to tell you the truth. If you stop at that, if that is all you have, you might get a job, but your chances of landing a job will be very slim. Because if you remember what I told you, the same way you are learning skills is the same way thousands of other people are learning skills. So you are not the only one upskilling. And for you to stand out, you must do more. And that is why we would not stop at week 2. We would have just said, oh, you have learned Power BI, you have learned Looker Studio, or yeah, come and be going to your house. No, because we know that technical skills alone does not guarantee you a job. That's why we have week 3 and week 4 to empower you with these other things that help you to stand out, like artificial intelligence. And that's why we're going to focus on in week 3. All right. So in week 3, you're going to learn how to leverage artificial intelligence to somebody cannot see my screen. Guys, please, if you can see my screen, let me know. Please give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. All right. So if you can't see my screen, I would suggest you leave the call and rejoin immediately. All right. So week 3, you're going to learn how to leverage AI, because now we live in the world of AI. And if you cannot use AI to complete a project from end to end, you are seen as a liability to any organization. But if you have your skills, you also have master pro level AI prompt engineering skills to be able to do a project from start to finish using AI, you are seen as a value added to that organization. So that's what you're going to achieve in week 3. And in week 4, remember, you also need to have a project portfolio if you must land a job. You also need to have a personal brand that is compelling and also an AI powered CV. Do you remember that? To be able to land a job, you also need these things apart from the technical skills. And that is what we are going to focus on in week 4. So in week 4, you're going to learn how to build a project portfolio. All right. Your project portfolio is going to be personal to you. You're going to build a website for yourself that will serve as your project portfolio. Let me show you what that is going to look like very quickly. Let me open a browser here. Let me show you what your project portfolio will look like. Let me show you my own. This is my own. You are going to build your own. All right. I won't give you mine. Obviously, I won't give you mine. You will build your own. I have built mine. I have my own project portfolio. I have my own website. You are going to build your own website on the program, and that website is going to be your project portfolio. All right, give it a second. My website is loading. My website is loading. Fantastic. Can you see my website now? Can you see my website? Can you see my website? Great. So if I want to apply to a job, I won't just send my CV alone. I would also send this to the recruiter so they can know me and know my capabilities. All right. So they can get to know me from a personal point of view and also from a professional point of view. So they are not just seeing my CV. They see, oh, this is Ayobami Yusuf, is empowering organizations with actionable, blah, 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 blah. They read about me. But the most important one is this button that says, check out my portfolio. It shows them all the work that I've done. All right. But this is not all the work that I've done, anyways, just a few personal projects that I've worked on in the past, all right, in the past. So just to give them an idea of what I can do. All right, so you can see some of my projects. All right, I just have some projects here, just very small. All right, so they can go through it, interact with those projects, and anybody that sees this definitely know that this guy can at least analyze and visualize data because they've seen me do it before. All right, they've seen me do it before. They've seen my project. They've seen what I've done before. Now they are more confident to want to interview me compared to somebody who is only using word of mouth to say, don't worry, I can do it. Nobody is going to believe I can do it. Recruiters prefer, I have done it before. Instead of saying I can do it, tell them how you have done it before by showing your project portfolio. And that's what you're going to achieve in week 4. You're going to build a project portfolio. You're going to build an optimized LinkedIn profile, and then you're going to learn how to use AI to craft a winning CV in week 4. Guys, you then get to uh, answer this. Week 1 to week 4, has it now given you everything? Do you think it will give you everything that I mentioned that you lack? All those 5 things that I mentioned that you lack. Do you think week 1 to week 4 gives you all of those things? Give me a thumbs up if I have covered all those things that you lack or not. Great. So that exactly is the program that we have been using All right. That is the program that we have been using to help Africans break into tech. And a lot of people have been landing jobs by empowering themselves with not just the technical skills, but also the non technical skills. A lot of Africans just focus on learning the skills alone, forgetting they also need this non technical aspect to be able to stand out and position yourself. We have more people who have used this program to land a job. We have someone like Ugochi. A lot of them. I've shared the story of Esther and Oluwaseun. We have so much more. We have hundreds of Africans that have been able to break into tech. This is Udwa Grace. This is Lebura. This is all of these people. All right. But I can't spend the entire night, sharing the story of all of these people. All right. So I'm sure, all right, maybe I'm guessing that instead of hearing about all of these other people, you would rather want to hear how you can get on board on this program. Or am I making the wrong assumption? Do you want me to keep going on and on about other people, or you want me to talk about you, how you can get on this program? You tell me in the chat. What you say is what I do. All right. You want me to keep going on about other people, or you want me to tell you how you can get on this tech elevator program? Tell me in the chat. I want to hear from you. I've been the one doing the talking since, so I want to also hear from you now. It's time to hear back from you. What do you want me to do? All right. Mira says she wants to know about how she can get into the program. All right. I would wait for like 2 or 3 more people, and then we would get right into it. All right. So I'll just let Mira talk for the rest of us. Great, great, awesome. So the program is the Tech Elevator program, like I mentioned. All right. And this program, guess what? You are lucky because the program gets a new cohort onboarded on the 8th of November. All right. So a new cohort is joining on the 8th of November. So is this timing great for you? Are you able to join on the 8th of November or not? You get to decide. All right. So a new cohort is starting on the 8th of November, and it is 4 weeks, like I mentioned. It's a 1 month journey, and classes hold on weekends. All right. Classes, your main class hold on Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And what you're going to be doing in this class is to build projects. The best way to learn is not just by theory, is to build. You see all those projects that I showed you, this one and this one. Let me show you very quickly again. This guy right here, this Power BI project, you're going to build that with your instructor on Tuesday. This Looker Studio report, you're going to build that with your instructor on another Saturday. So you're going to be building projects. It's not going to be just theory. You're going to be building projects. All right. But before you get into class on Saturday, Sundays we would have released a set of preparatory videos. Those videos are to prepare you for what is going to happen on Saturday, so that you don't come into class on Saturday as a total novice. You are already prepared to build solutions. You already have an understanding. So you're not coming as a complete novice. All right. So we release instructional videos for the first 2 Sundays. And then on Saturdays, you get into class with your instructor online, 100% online, 100% online. I've been doing that for over 2 years. All right. So for those of you that are ready for the program, the Tech Elevator program, the fee for the program is 100,000 naira. All right. 100,000 naira is the fee for the program. But guess what? This may not apply to everybody, because some people have the opportunity to go away with this program tonight with at a discount. All right. Some people have the opportunity to go away with this program, to take up this program at a ridiculous 60% discount. All right. So for people on this call who want to take up this program, but they don't want to pay 100,000 naira, they don't want to pay 100,000 naira. You have the opportunity to take action tonight and take up the program at a 60% discount, and that leaves the price at 40,000 naira. So if you want to take up the program, you want to get on board, you have tonight to take advantage of the discount. All right. So very important, Olabi. In fact, we would not advise you to register for the program if you don't have a laptop or you don't have access to a laptop. It's not compulsory for you to have a laptop, all right? If you have somebody who can get you a laptop, maybe just lend you theirs for the purpose of the program, you can also leverage that. But if you don't have laptop at all, please do not register for the program, because we want you to be able to get value from the program. And if you don't have a laptop, you would not be able to get value from the program. All right. So if you're taking advantage of the discount tonight, do that right away. Get the program at 40,000 naira. Do that by sending your payment to the account you can see on your screen. It's a Sterling Bank account, 0098999047. Sterling Bank. You'll see Nebiant Analytics. Make that payment and send us a proof of payment. For those of you that are getting the program at a discount, all right, make sure you send us a proof of payment tonight. We want to see the proof of payment so that we can enroll you, and that's all you're paying. You are not paying 100,000. You will be paying 40,000 naira. All right. So if you have a question for me, this is also the point where you ask me your question. All right. So you want to ask a question, please raise your hand and we would treat your question. And if you raise your hand, I'm going to call you. If I don't call you, please don't unmute so that we keep the session. We keep it orderly. All right. So I'm going to start with Temi Tokpe Afolabi. Please unmute your mic and go ahead with your question. If you're making payments, if you're making the 40,000 naira payments, do so tonight and send us a proof of payment. Go ahead, Temi Tokpe.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Mr. Yusuf, for this wonderful engagement. It's really an eye opener, and I will say that I'm very impressed with all what you have dished out tonight. Um, God bless you, sir. But my question is this: when you're talking about data analysis, although I've been trying to uh, get trained on data analysis, in fact, there is a kind of a position that opened up in my organization recently, and when I went through the requirements, under it was compulsory that anybody that were applying for that position must have a data analysis skills. So I couldn't, because um, I did not have the skill. But during my course of research about this data analysis, I could see that a lot of people are talking about Excel in data analysis. They are talking about, SQL, and I think Python, and then Power BI. So I think you made mention of Power BI tonight, and the other one is in a Lookup Studio or something. I'm hearing that one for the first time. So, and then I'm impressed with the integration of artificial intelligence in data analysis, because like most of the job functions now, they are turning towards AI integration. But I would like to know the other tools for data analysis that you did not mention. Are they not important for us to know? because some of them will be asking even the job, description, that you must be conversant with Excel, Python, and Power BI, SQL, and all the stuff. But you only mention Power BI and then the Lookup Studio. So that's my question. Thank you,
All
sir.
right. Thank you very much, Temitope. And that's a very valid question. It's also very interesting because it shows that you've done your research and you are correct. All right, you're very correct. But the truth of the matter is, these are tools and they help you get things done. So tools in themselves are not the end. They are the means. They are an end. They are a means to an end, if you get what I mean. All right. So a lot of organizations that put out job descriptions or job posts, they have, you know, they already have an idea of who a data analyst is. So they are not putting it out based on the tools that they need. They are putting it out based on the typical, if you look at, just sample about 10 job postings, especially for a specific role, you'll discover that they are almost similar. And as a matter of fact, a lot of companies just use ChatGPT these days to just churn out their job postings. All right. But Excel is very crucial. All right. In fact, our last cohort for this same program, we took them on Excel. All right. So they learned Excel. But what you can use Excel to do, you will use Power BI to do it even more. All right. So Excel has limitations, and that limitations is where Power BI shines. So any organization that needs you to know Excel, if you go in with Power BI, you are coming in as a superstar. All right, because you can achieve. People like to call Excel Power BI Excel on steroids, and what that simply implies is that Power BI is the more advanced, version of Excel. Even though I don't like to agree with them, I believe every tool has their own, but they have the use is what you want to focus on. All right, why would an organization need SQL? It is only if they have databases, if they store their data in databases. And for an organization to get to the point where they have to leverage databases to store their data, it means their operations have gotten so large that Excel, all of these you cannot learn all these tools in one day. All right. But get in the door first. There's no organization that has need for a data analyst that would not need, Power BI skills. Because if all they require is Excel, you can use Power BI to still do the work of Excel even more efficiently. All right. That was why we thought it wise. Instead of limiting you to Excel, why not empower you with more so that you can do what Excel can do and do what Excel cannot do? Why Looker Studio? A lot of organizations, especially in Nigeria, they don't want to spend money. We know that a lot of organizations are trying to cut costs, and Looker Studio is one of the most popular tools that organizations in Nigeria use to do their reporting because it is free, it is cloud-based, you're not installing anything. So the thought process is chances are that you would interview with an organization that would ask you about, Looker Studio. If you don't have Looker Studio skills, you might miss out on some opportunities. That was why we focused on the most in-demand tools in the market right now. All right. Other things you can grow in them as you progress, but you don't have to wait till you learn all of them before you start looking for a job or before you get a job. That was a thought process Does it make sense to you? Temitope. Sorry, I'm not sure that's the name.
Yes. Yeah, yes, thank you so much, sir. I really do appreciate
Oh,
it. Yeah.
all right. You're welcome. You're welcome. So, does that help you enough to want to empower yourself with Power BI and Looker Studio skills and other things?
Yes, yes, yes. I will say that I'm impressed.
All right. Oh, okay. All right. So, I would urge that you take advantage of the discount. But if you don't mind the 100,000, that is also fine. All right. But if you're taking advantage of the discount, ensure to do that tonight before it goes off the table. All right. So let me take more questions. Cyprian Victoria. Cyprian Victoria, are you able to speak? All right. If you're not able to speak, and I'll go on to Casey Junior. Hi, Casey Junior. Are you able to speak? All right.
Good evening,
I
sir.
would go. All right. Good evening.
Good evening. Said
Please go
something
ahead.
earlier on your report. I didn't actually get your like your standings for the week one and week two. I'm sorry I didn't join the call earlier. I I was a bit late, sir. And I have a question. Like as I'm just like I'm a newbie to data analysis. I don't really know much about data analysis. I don't really know much about data analysis.
That's the point of the program, to get you to know much. All right. You wouldn't know much right now. All right. You get on the program, you know more than much. All right. You go from zero, you know, to somebody who knows much. That's the essence of the program.
Okay, all right.
All right. So Saya Oluwadarasimi, please go ahead with your question. You can, you can mute your
Oh,
mic
hello.
now. You can mute your mic now,
Yeah,
Oh,
Casey.
hello.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay, I wanted to ask the question Casey asked because I was curious about people that don't know anything about this thing at all. Like, are we going to be learning? Are we going to be beginning from scratch? From beginner level. Someone like me now that doesn't know anything about data analysis. Would I be learning from that level, the beginner's level? And is it like that?
All right. Yes. I think you have helped me to answer the question. You're going to be learning from the beginner level because we are assuming, our assumption is that you've not even heard data before. You don't even know what data
Exactly,
is.
exactly. I don't
All
even
right.
know what data analysis is. I just want to have
Don't worry.
technical skills.
Don't worry, exactly. And that's exactly what our program is catered to. All right. You're going to start
Okay.
from scratch because we're going to assume that you have no prior knowledge and we're going to work with you based on that assumption. All right. As long as you
Within the
have
space of that
the
4 weeks.
willingness to learn. Absolutely. A lot of people have leveraged that program and they started also from that beginner level. All right.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. And that was exactly why we kept it at, just tools that are manageable. If we wanted to teach you all the tools, we are teaching you SQL, teaching you about 20 tools in 1 month, then that is when you say, oh, you might not be able to learn so much. All right. But we have limited it to the most important and in-demand tools right now so that you're able to learn so much more within that 1 month period. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 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 yeah. It made sense.
All right, all right, all right. Okay, so do we have more questions? Abubakar Deni, please go ahead.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good
Uh,
evening. I can hear you.
based on based on the explanation you did earlier on the exam, Power BI, data, and so on, and the way you analyze everything, is it possible the course you hold back for that 4 weeks based on the individual differences, maybe the IQ on accumulating the knowledge, maybe understanding the knowledge passing through to the individuals during the course. Because you made mention of just
Oh,
4 weeks. And then during that 4 weeks, you pass through the Excel, that is, which is the basics. Then you move forward to advanced Power BI, the data, and so on. Then to AI. So is that 4 weeks going to be enough for that course? That's just my question.
all right. The simple answer to that is yes. And like I mentioned to the last person that asked the same question, all right. A lot of people, we have onboarded a lot of people in previous courts that used that same 1 month to be able to land their first job. All right. So now we restricted the tools you'll be learning because of the time frame. The purpose of the Tech Elevator program is to get your foot in the door in the shortest time possible. All right, and that's why we are not packing all. These are not all the tools. In fact, if you go online now and search tools for data analysis, you'll find out they are in the hundreds. We cannot teach you 100 tools in 1 month. That was why we limited it to just the two that are highly in demand. All right, it's not more than that tool, and then we then equip you with other things. It's not just about learning skills, technical skills. You also need other things like a portfolio. All right. You can have all the skills in the world. If you don't have anything to back it up, you're not getting any job because nobody is going to be confident enough in your skills and ability. Skills lie in your head. You are the only one that know what you can do. Nobody will take a look at you and say, oh, this guy looks like a skillful person. No, until I can see what you can do, that's when I'm confident. All right. That's the place of a portfolio. All right, that's the place of a portfolio. So we'll spend the first 2 weeks to teach you the most important tools right now. You can grow in it as you progress, but right now, to start your journey, we're going to limit it to that too, and also buffer it with other things that you need. Those things that actually get you the job, like a portfolio, prompt engineering, and LinkedIn optimization. So those are the things that you add to your skills that guarantees you a job. All right. And like I said to the last person also, we are making the assumption that you don't know anything about data. All right. So we're going to take you from the scratch and then build you up. All right. Abubakar, does that answer your question?
It does. Thank you very much.
All right. All right. You're welcome. So are you registering for the program?
Let's see how it goes. Can't say no.
All right. So let's see how it goes. Let's see how your next job goes. That's what you're saying. Do you know that? Means you're not
Yep.
ready to break into tech. You're not if the opportunity comes today, you're not interested in it. That's
If
what
it
it
comes,
implies, even though
and
you're
I'm
not
av-
saying it.
if it comes and I'm available, why not? I will take the opportunity
It's
of
not
it.
about available. You are always available for an opportunity. Everybody is always available. So it's not about availability, it's about you being ready for it.
I am, but
Do you
it
understand?
depends. Yes, I do. I do understand with you.
All right. Anyways, all right. Christopher Mike, please go ahead. Please, you have to make it snappy. If I don't hear your voice, I would move on to the next person. All right, Omeri Temitokwe, apologies for I'm not sure I pronounced that correctly, but Temitokwe, please go ahead.
All right, good evening.
Good evening.
Hello. Yeah, good evening. All right, thank you very
I,
much for the insightful presentation and willingness to help us become a better person. All right, my question is, yes, we've understood everything you've said, and based on the questions that other people have asked, I've been able to yes know okay, this is what I really need to do. But the point now is like the last person, like the last speaker spoke about when you're asking, is the person ready to, up on the opportunity at the moment? Now, my own question now is, since the discounts just last for tonight, what can you do for those of us that are not prepared, like financially uh, buoyant to, drop that money now? You understand that we will not have the capacity to drop it now. What can you do for us? Like probably maybe in a week time, can we still enjoy the discount? Maybe something that we can work on probably within a week. We'll be able to, meet up with this thing. Can we still enjoy
all
the
right.
discount? So that
I totally understand your question, so that we don't spend too much time on it. So the price of the program is actually 100,000 naira. You don't need to pay anything tonight. That's first thing that you need to know. You don't need, if you're not prepared for it, you don't need to pay anything tonight. The program starts on the 8th of November. So even if you miss out on the discount, you still have from now till say the 6th or the 7th to pay 100,000 naira. The 40,000 naira is only for those who want to secure the discount tonight. All right. So that's another way of helping those people who don't have 100,000 naira. They would rather want to pay a lower amount of money. So they have tonight to do that. But you don't need to stress yourself. You have a buffer of time to, look for, add it up from, you can put 20,000 aside today, 20,000 aside the next day, 20,000 until it completes your 100,000 naira, and then you pay before the program starts on the 8th of November. All right. So that's another thing you can do.
all right, thank you, sir.
All right. You're welcome. I think Christopher Mike. I'm not sure I've called you before. Christopher Mike. You can go ahead, or else I would move on. All right, Aminat, go ahead, please. All right, I'm not sure Aminat can hear me. All right, Cyprian Victoria, please go ahead. All right, I'm not sure if these people are able to speak. All right, I want to believe there are no more questions, right? Great. Awesome, awesome.
Hello.
All right,
Hi. Good evening.
okay, yes, good
Good
evening,
evening.
go ahead,
This
please.
is Victoria. Can I talk?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. Question is, what about people that don't have a laptop ready now? How? I said, what about people that don't have a laptop ready now? How is it going to be for them? Like, will it be possible for them to still benefit from this program?
That's a dicey one, but my first recommendation would be if you don't have a laptop, you are not going to get value, or you're not going to get as much value as you should from the program. All right. You should strive to get a laptop. It doesn't have to be your own. All right. I'm going to tell you the truth. I could have said, don't worry, even if you don't have a laptop, just pay for the program. But I would only be interested in your money. But I'm not interested in your money. I'm interested in the value that you get from the program And that's what I am interested in. So if you don't have a laptop, my recommendation would be do not register for the program. But you don't necessarily have to use your own laptop for the program, as long as you can get from somebody, maybe to go to class and practice. You return it for the next class, come into class with that borrowed laptop, practice a little, return it. If you can do that for a while till you're able to get your own laptop, you should register for the program. But if not, if you have tried all your best possible and you still can't get any laptop, please do not register for the program. Does that answer your question?
Yes, please. But with regards to borrowing laptop to attend the class, how long would the class
Mhm.
last? Like how many hours in a day? Or is it like one day in a week? What's the
Yes, it is one day
time
in a
frame for
week,
it?
11 a.m. to 2 p.m. So you can tell the person, you can, if they can leave the laptop with you from 9 a.m. to say 4 p.m. every day, so that you can have some time before the class and then some time after class, maybe 1 or 2 hours to practice before you return it.
Okay. Alright.
Does that
Thank
work
you.
for
You've
you,
answered.
Victoria?
Yeah, you've answered my question. I'm not sure about getting a laptop now, but I'll try and do that before the program starts. So if I can
All
meet up
right,
before
all
the
right.
program starts.
So try to secure your discounts. If in case you want to pay at a discount, so you can try to secure your discount tonight and then try to then get the laptop. All right, so that you don't
Yeah,
miss
thank
out on
you.
the discount. All right, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Aziz Wasiu, please go ahead. You're welcome. Aziz Wasiu, please go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me, please?
Yes, I can.
Oh, I'm very sorry. A friend just shared the link with me, and I just dash in now. I don't even know what the program is all about. Can you just give me a brief recap and see where I can position myself?
Don't worry. Just fill out the attendance form, and we'll send the recording to you. All right.
Oh,
My colleague will share a link to the attendance. Fill out the form, and then we'll share the recording with you. All right.
okay.
All right. Okay, Christopher Mike, I've called you before. You weren't responsive, so I'll try one more time. Please go ahead, Christopher Mike. All right, so I'm not going to call you again. Akinrole Aminat. I'm not sure if you have spoken. All right. So this is where we're going to draw the curtain on the session tonight. I hope you do maximize everything that was spoken about tonight to position yourself for a career in tech. All right. Good night, everybody, and have a fantastic night rest. Good night, everybody.